I think I'm doing it.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Hi, it's Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. I share authentic stories, travel experiences, and tips on navigating life and money. And today I have Diane Larson here with me. I'm so very excited to have you. And we are going to be, I need to order a coffee here in a second, but I also just wanted to say I'm just so grateful for Diane to share her story and to come on the channel, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's what's coming up next. Thank you so much. All right, Diane, we got our coffee ordered in. You're having
I'm having the coffee of the day
yes.
with cream. I'm simple, $3.25.
Oh, I am a little more complicated. I get the brown sugar almost shaken espresso. My family knows I'm a little more. So all right, let's get going. I've got that in, coffee order in, and we'll get going here. Okay, so I was really intrigued, Diane, by your story, and really just so curious how you made it through, survived it, got through it, and all of it. So I wanted to talk with you, and really excited to do this, and so I wanted to give you an opportunity to share your story.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, because you were about the first person that's ever said to me after all I went through is, how was that like for you? And I thought, Andrea, you absolutely get it, because in every story there's more than one side, right? And so I really am excited for you and your ability to navigate through questions and really being, curious. And so I'm glad to be here today. This is fantastic. So proud of you.
Yay, thank you so much. I'm just I'm such an honor to have you and to be able to have you tell your story. And words really don't even describe. I very much feel out of body. I'm just so grateful you're here to tell your story.
Thank you. Well, about 20 years ago, maybe 22 years now, we were pastoring in Auburn, Washington, and it was a large church, and it was about 11 o'clock. My husband was not home for the board meeting, 11:30, 12, 12:31. It was getting so late, and he was not answering his phone, and I was like, what in the world? He finally came home about 1:30 in the morning, and he was just like he had seen a ghost, and he had gone through a horrendous evening at the board meeting. They finished at about 8:45, and Dan says, okay, if there's anything else, we're going to close in prayer. And one of them said, there is one more thing. And they'd opened up the laptop, and they just started to speak 51 accusations against him. One after the other, after the other, after the other. And Dan was a pastor, of course, and he was completely taken off guard. Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Literally no, he wasn't prepared for it in any way. I mean, he knew there was a little bit of tension over some things, but nothing like what happened. Fast forward, what the therapist ended up saying was that moment was a PTSD moment for him, because he was completely taken off guard. He was completely stripped. He was completely accused of things that most of them were completely untrue or unrelated and fabricated. And in all of that, people's perception, truth is perception, right?
Exactly.
So to these people, if it was truth to them, but they gathered just this crazy data that about maybe 18 months later, everything was expunged from record. It was investigated, and thankfully he was in the clear. Yeah. But the damage was already done. Right. And so the therapist said he has PTSD. You're not going to really notice it for the next few months, because PTSD is like, you think you're going on as normal, and I'm just kind of sad, or I'm just kind of going whatever. But that's not what happened. The longer it goes on and it's untreated, the worse it gets. And this is something I didn't know. And so pretty soon, a couple months in, he wasn't thinking straight. He was more depressed. He was thinking weird thoughts. Like, he wasn't putting two and two together in the way that I've known him to do. And honestly, I was like, who are you? And it just evolved into a serious mental illness, where he was functioning, and he was functioning with the kids, and he was functioning with me, but inside his mind there was things going on that I was like, okay, I'm the closest person to you, and you are no longer my husband. And that's when I learned a ton about PTSD. And this was our livelihood. We resigned in good standing. Dan decided, I'm never going to be a pastor again, for sure. One thing is certain, I am never going to pastor again. And so he wanted to be a greeter at Walmart, because in his mind, this is kind of so silly, but there's nothing about being a greeter at Walmart,
Right.
but that's not necessarily his call. He was sitting there thinking that I can greet people when they come in, I can greet people when they go out, I can still be with people, but I can go home and nobody's gonna, hurt me. And I kept saying, honey, that's a great aspiration, but maybe not the best career choice for you, because he's just a beautiful communicator. He's just a wonderful, wonderful public speaker. And
Yeah.
so, all that to say, no church, never, ever, ever, ever.
Oh my God.
We were done. Well, then we're gonna go work at Walmart.
Yeah.
I got 3 kids. I worked at the church as well, so my job is done. What are we gonna do? We've got a mortgage, we've got cars, we've got life, we've got, now what?
Right.
And they gave us a beautiful severance package. Thank God. That was a miracle of all miracles, because we actually had about 3 months then to figure it out. But that's sort of how it all started.
That's just, it's beyond for me, because I grew up with Dan and Diane in high school and know them really from, can I say this, your start of your career, or
Yes,
Dan's career.
We were youth pastors when you were in the youth group.
Exactly, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And so I, like, to my core, know that this is crazy.
Yes. Dan, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story.
Right. And so it was heartbreaking. But I will say that, I just, through the years, I really feel like I didn't totally know the story, but also like how it affected you and all the things you had to go through. And so that's really, I was wanting to know. I mean, after being married 20 years, knowing, you're going to be going through a lot if you're going through that situation. And so I wanted to be able to know how you did it and what you went through. And so I'm so looking forward to hearing that.
Well, PTSD needs therapy. It cannot go untreated, or it will just become crazy. So I guess that's the first thing that people need to know.
Yeah.
Mental illness is nothing to be played with, and there's no shame in it. Life happens, trauma happens, things happen to people. We need help. That's what therapists are for, and that's what medications are for. And he actually went on Lexapro for a little while, and it just was so helpful. The therapist said it's like oh, here's our coffee.
Yes, coffee time. We need coffee.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get started for you?
Hi, I put in a mobile order for Andrea.
Yep, I will see you up here.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yay! I need my coffee.
Yes, we love coffee.
It's so beautiful.
Oh my
The sun
goodness.
is out. It's shiny. It's gorgeous.
It totally is. We need snow though, because the mountains are bare and I
know,
can't
that's
take my
true.
kids skiing.
If you're a
should be
skier or a
skiing.
sledder, that's true.
Yeah.
If you're just a person like me, no.
Right. This is literally perfect. Our poor friends in the Midwest.
Oh, it's like
I know
11 below.
I think it's really, really cold. Yeah. I don't think it's snowing right now. It's not some similar thing.
Yeah, so he said, so the therapist said it was like a record player. And he said what happens in mental illness or looping or remunerating thoughts that keep ruminating, it's like a record player, and it keeps getting grooves deeper and deeper and deeper in the record, and you get stuck. And the medication helps lift the needle so you can actually think. And then when he gave told me that about the medicine, I was like, oh, how quickly can we get it?
Right.
Because we needed it, because he was ruminating. He was thinking about things over and over and over. And it was really a problem. Yeah. So it was super necessary to get the medication. So I would say no shame in getting therapy, no shame in getting medication, because sometimes, just like a headache, you just need the inflammation to go down so that your headache can go away.
That's right.
And it's important. It's just important.
Yep.
And had we not done that and been too proud or too spiritual, or say it's not spiritual to do that, we would not be married today. There'd be no way. We needed help. And so thank God for therapists. Thank God for them.
Just from, I mentioned, being 20 years married and, all the things you've gone through, and even just to do one of them, I mean, you saying that, and I know how strong you guys are in your marriage, and to know that this was so hard,
Yes.
It's humbling for me to hear, but also like it helps me to know I'm not alone.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Hi. I'm really good at cuts now. in the.
I bet. What did you use? What
I
software?
started.
This one.
Thank you so much. Oh, and look at even a sleeve, Diane.
Oh, they
This
gave
is
you a sleeve
exciting.
finally.
Yes, today.
Christmas sleeve.
Oh, thank you so
Have a good
much.
one.
Can I
You got
please
straw?
have a sleeve too?
Yeah.
I like sleeves.
Here's that for you.
I appreciate it.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's the
Okay.
first thing I want to say is people need help. Absolutely. Don't be afraid to get help. And yes, you're going to go through many things, and even if it's little things, get the little things before it gets big. Just ask for help.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that people just, they're afraid to ask for help, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So we have really broken down that culture in our church where it's just like,
that's
please
great.
get help. And,
That's huge.
So yeah, that's the first thing. So as we got help, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what he went through. I learned a lot how it affected him, how it affected his psyche. What I didn't know, and what nobody knew, was first of all, they said he would never be cured of PTSD. It would only be managed. Well, you told the wrong lady that.
Right.
Because that's not going to be my story, and I don't believe that's what God intended. And so I said, over my dead body, tell me how to fix it, we will fix it.
Wow.
That was me advocating for my family, myself, and my husband. And he said, well, depending on how he does, this is what needs to happen. And so they gave me some tools, they gave me the things, and one of the things was talk therapy. He just needs to talk. If he allows it to keep going on in his brain, then it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So you need to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know it would be hours and hours and hours, sometimes 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day. I'm like, tell me the story again, honey. Tell me the same stinking story.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just,
It was
difficult. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it got less and less over time. The second thing I didn't know, Andrea, was that it was going to take almost 3.5, almost 4 years. I would think, okay, we're going to start therapy.
Right.
We're going to get through this. Tell me what to do. I'm an A+ student. I will do A+ work.
Yeah.
What do we need to do? Let's get it done. 3 months? 4 months? Max.
Right.
No. I was completely out of control. His healing was his healing process. And it was 3.5, almost 4 years.
It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
All that work that you had to go through, that you had to help him get through.
So then the third thing was, what do I do?
Right.
So the first therapist, he was lame, really lame. Wanted to do some electromagnetic therapy, which was fine, but then didn't give us tools or whatever. Went to the second one, and he told us, you got to get him back on the horse again. If he never doesn't get back on the horse again, he's never going to be a productive human again. The PTSD is that strong.
Wow.
So we got him back on the horse again, and we started a Bible study.
He's not liking me real a lot.
Yes, we started a Bible study in our home.
Yeah.
And so that was really cute. Or not cute, really cool and beneficial. So I'll talk about more of that in a minute. But the other thing was that we didn't really love that second therapist either, because he didn't give proper tools that we needed. So finally we found a third one that was gold. And so that's another part of the process.
Yeah.
If a therapist, find your own, advocate for your health, advocate for your family, advocate for what you need. Don't just sit and suffer. And so Dan was not getting better.
Wow.
And so we finally got a third therapist. He took back and he says he does not have to live with PTSD. We can teach him tools to manage that will completely, I promise you.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I've never heard that before. So the tools he gave were basically boundaries. It was still talk therapy, but it was boundaries. And we had to agree, boundaries, that Dan had to stop ruminating. What would happen is he would just get stuck in these loops in his head. And because of that, I have written a book called Stop Looping. You're Driving Yourself Crazy, because of all the things that I learned during that time and how to unwind that. And so he had to stop looping.
Yes.
So I had to help him with boundaries. So the first boundaries, if I saw him looping, I would have to say something like, I notice, I need you to stop. If you're going to stay here in the home, I need you to stop. If he wouldn't stop, it would go to level 2. Level 2 was, I'm sorry, you need to leave the home until you decide that you're going to use the tools from the therapist to stop looping. So, I mean, sometimes it was a rubber band around the wrist,
Yeah.
right? All the different tools that he was given. And then, if that didn't work, then I was supposed to go and drop him off somewhere. Just
Wow.
take him somewhere, and I mean, he has to be gone for an extended period of time. If that doesn't work, the fourth thing is that I drop him off at the ER and say, you've made this choice, you go to the ER.
Oh my
And you
gosh.
tell them what's going on. And they'll put you in a psych ward.
Right.
So we went to the clinic twice over those years. 3 times. I'm sorry, 3 times. One time, he was almost admitted. I mean, like, he was in the gurney, ready to go into the psych ward. But we did make it to level 4 3 times. He would always deny that he's in level 1. He's
Yeah.
always like, no, I'm not ruminating. And I'm like, well, you know, why are you biting your cheeks? And that was his thing. He chooses cheeks.
Okay.
And why were your eyes kind of like looking weird? Okay, and then he would leave. So one night,
Oh
he
my
slept
God.
in the car all night in front of King Oscar Hotel
Oh my God.
on 167, because
Oh
I
my
said,
goodness.
it's 11 o'clock at night, and I said, you have not done 1, 2. You see, so we always, every time we drive by that hotel, he's like, oh boy, I remember that one. There was a couple of times that I just got in the car and I thought we were, made him think we were going for ice cream
Yeah.
or whatever, and dropped him off 5 miles away and said, this is where you get off, because you've got to walk 5 miles. Yeah.
That had to have been really, really hard.
Yeah, one time I was in the rain with his dress clothes on. I took him from work. His assistant was saying, he's not doing well, and so I went to pick him up and said, hey, let's go for ice cream. Or I said, let's go for a drive.
Right.
And dropped him off and said, you need to get your head straight. This is level 3. But we had already pre-agreed.
Right.
That's the thing,
That's
Andrew.
right.
You can't just like institute boundaries.
Yeah.
If you haven't pre-agreed that this is what healing looks like, this is how we're going to get there. And that's why this therapist was amazing. And so he gave me the power to not be mean.
Yep.
I could never do it in anger. I was supposed to completely always be in control.
Yeah.
Because the anger that I had to be dealt with in therapy. But when we're out of therapy, I needed to have a level head, and I needed to just execute the levels. So we have story after story after story about the execution of levels, and I did drop him off more than one time.
Wow.
And you think, oh, didn't he catch on? Well, he really didn't, because I'm pretty good at kind of disguising what we're doing, or let's
Yeah.
go pick up our daughter, or let's go do whatever.
Right.
So,
The first time or second time or whatever time, it had to have been so hard. I mean, so hard. At some level.
it feels mean.
Oh.
It feels
that would've
so
been
mean.
hard.
Boundaries feel mean.
Yeah.
But it's more mean for him to be allowed to continue to do what he's doing to
Right.
himself.
Yeah.
He's hurting himself, he's hurting me, he's hurting his family. So it's kind in a weird sort of way.
Right.
So anyway, that's sort of how it landed. You mentioned to me, how did this affect you? That
Yeah.
was your initial question
Right.
to me when we first met. So you had asked me how it affected me.
Right.
It was hell. And I think that's just what's really, it can't be overstated. It's just hell. And it's not just mental illness. It's anytime a couple goes through trouble and one is not well and or responding to therapy or whatever.
Right.
You don't know how long it's going to end. You don't know if this is my new normal. You don't know, is this how my life's going to be? I'm 38 years old or 37 years old. Is this my new normal? Is this what life is going to look like for me now?
Right.
Am I going to have a shell of the man that I married? Am I responsible to make all the money? Am I responsible to raise the kids?
Right.
Am I responsible for how does this work? There's nobody that writes a book that says, hey, this is how it's going to work now. Or, I mean, what happens if I am mad?
Right.
I mean, what happens if I'm mad like every day?
Right.
What happens if I'm crying every day? I want to like drop him off for good. Like, I'm done with this. All of those things are real, and they're
Right.
part of the process, and they're part of the story. And I couldn't find a book, I couldn't find a devotional, I couldn't find a resource. And Andrew, in the church, we don't know how to deal with this, and so we
Sure.
slap Jesus on everything, and we just say, well, Jesus will help you. Are you praying about it? I am praying about this night and day. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Right.
It's not about prayer. It's
Right.
about, I just need help.
Yes.
How long is this going to go on? And the therapist would say, you know what? We don't know. It could be a while. It could be 10 years. I'm like, oh, no, it's not going to be 10 years. No, it can't be 10 years. God, do not know it can't be 10 years. So that's all. We made it, and I had support, and I built a support system. Honestly, my family, my therapist, and a couple of people in our church. It was beautiful.
So glad to hear that. I can't imagine you doing that alone. Oh my gosh.
So speaking of the other thing I wanted to mention was the getting back on the horse.
Yeah.
So we started a Bible study, and it was great. 12 people in our home, and it was beautiful. And Dan got to teach again, and just, you know, that was healing all in itself. Like, I don't want you to think like Dan was walking around like a corpse.
Right.
He wasn't. He was functioning. He was interacting. He wasn't as energetic, but he was a good dad. He painted the whole house. He made a CD with his spare time because he really wasn't working, and just like he was functioning, but it was in his private place in his brain.
Yeah.
And so he started this Bible study. It got bigger and bigger. He kept telling people they couldn't come. We only wanted a small Bible study. I'm like, rude. You can't just tell people they can't come to Bible study. And he's like, well, I don't want any more people. And I'm like, but that's rude. So what are we going to do about that?
Right.
And so he would pick and choose who he allowed, who he felt safe with. And I guess that's part of it.
Yeah.
So we had 12 for about 6 months. Finally, they all started to say, we want to start a church. And Dan's like, yeah, find yourself a different pastor, won't be me.
Wow.
And God settled his heart. We talked to the therapist about it, and he says it can be a small church. It can be just a little church. It doesn't have to be a big church. It doesn't even have to call it a church, but just, you know, like a fellowship or whatever. Well, 300 and some people showed up the first Sunday, so it wasn't really a small church. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a big day. And I would say that the Lord used that, because 20 years later we have this robust, fantastic, unbelievably healthy church, and it is it's been where we raised our kids.
Yep.
And Dan was able to share with the church about his healing. They all knew he was a wounded healer from the start. The time we planted the church, he didn't come in as a strong stallion. He was weak. He was wounded.
Yeah.
And so the Lord's actually brought in a lot of people that have church hurt, and really brought in a lot of people that, you know, have needed help over the years.
I love that.
And the final part of the story is that when Dan got through, he got all the way through. And he got healing, and I got to see him get better and better and better. And the last lesson I want to say is I wanted to stop at 80% because I thought we're good.
Right.
I have my husband back for the most part.
Yeah.
He doesn't ruminate nearly as much. And the therapist said 100% or nothing. And I'm like, and I got lazy. And I was just so thankful he was better.
Right.
But when COVID hit, that's when we found out that he wasn't totally better. And he had another episode. This time we were much smarter. We knew a lot better what to do. But we went back to the same therapist, and he said, this time, Diane, are you going to do 100%? And I'm like, guilty.
Yep.
100%. Until you see a better version of the man that you even married.
Wow.
We're not there yet.
Wow.
And so that was the next assignment. 2 years.
Yeah.
And over those 2 years, we did a lot of work. He still functioned. We made it through COVID, all of the things. But there was highs, there was lows, there was days when I looked in his eyes and I thought, are we going back there?
Right.
The fear, there was just a lot of fear. But COVID was all about fear, right? And so it was just the fear captured him again.
Oh, yeah.
So the therapist helped us, and we got through, Andrea, to the point where it was 100%.
Oh.
This was 5 years ago now.
Wow.
And I have such a better version of my husband. He's amazing. And when we talk about it, he can talk about his story. He can talk about what he went through. But the biggest thing about him almost every person that's going through struggle, either the wife or the husband or the children.
Yeah.
Because he walked that journey, and he knows the pain he caused me. He knows the pain he caused our children. And now our whole family, we're involved in helping people get through. I mean, we're all involved in helping people on their mental health journeys because we all lived it.
Right.
And we're a success story of what God can do and heal and restore. So it was hell. There's no candy coating that.
Yeah.
We're lucky to be married. We wouldn't be married without help.
Wow.
There's no way. There's no way I would have stayed.
Wow. Well, it's in one perspective hard to believe because I know how amazing you two are. So it's like,
And how great we get along. We're great together.
I know, but that means that much work had to happen. That's really what that means. Is that much work had to happen.
That means hours and hours of listening to him talk crazy talk.
Oh.
Crazy talk. Sometimes I'm like, what is up with you?
Yeah.
Do you really believe that nonsense in your head?
Right.
But they do. I mean, literally, I can't diminish it.
Family.
Yeah, she lives down here.
Oh, okay, you mentioned the kids, so I was curious if you could share the kids were young and you had to raise them, but ultimately, potentially this impacted them a little bit. If there's any story or perspective you would be willing to share on that part of it.
We were honest with them. We were honest the whole time. Dad's going through a tough time. You know, they knew that we left the church. They knew, that this was a tough situation. They didn't get church hurt from it, which is a beautiful thing. I don't know how exactly that happened, but we revisited it multiple times. Like, what do you remember? And do you remember, and I think that the Lord gave us grace during that time, and some church people, they sent us I was the music director, so the music department sent us to Disneyland.
Wow.
The day of our last Sunday, some dear friends of ours brought a limousine to our house and took us to a surprise dinner that we didn't know anything about. And so we were at home, and all of a sudden this limousine, and they said, come on. And we get there, and when we get to Salty's in West Seattle, they opened the doors, and there was like 80 people there. And they're just, because the church didn't want us to go. It was these people. It was these very few board members that were just having issues, and they've had issues for years, and so another judge and jury is just another one in the chain, I guess. But the people did such nice things for us, and so the kids remember Disneyland, and the kids remember just how great some of those experiences were in that party and the limousine ride. And so I think the Lord gave me grace to parent them during that, and to make sure that they knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But they didn't I don't know. They didn't have to live through the trauma of it, because we did our work privately.
Okay.
And then we're able to present to them what we needed to present to them. We didn't fake it.
Mm-hmm.
Never faked it. Never faked it with our board at the church. Never faked it with anybody that we were okay when we weren't. We were just very, very honest. And that's why I don't like fake people,
Yeah.
I don't like people that play pretend, because pretend doesn't help anybody.
No. Especially when you're in that much pain.
Have you been to this retreat center? It's
I actually haven't.
Beautiful.
I must try that.
It's right on the water. It's just beautiful.
Really? Okay. That's very good.
Yeah, so that's kind of
All right. I love it. Thank you. One question I have is, as I looked back at, I knew you then. I definitely have guilt because I didn't do anything, and potentially others who knew you then might have that same feeling, and that, but also separate from that, what can we, even for me, I'm going to be paying it forward because I can't go back in time, what can we do to help others?
Yeah, that's great. Well, I cut you free. You weren't supposed to do anything. Our story was our story, and that was not any part of your responsibility to do anything or say anything. people don't know a lot what to do and say, right? They just don't. I think asking some questions like, do you need anything? How are you doing in all of this?
Pushing through the, can I say facade? Because I feel like
I'm good, everything's good.
Right,
How are
everything's
you?
good. Right.
Yeah.
Push through that. Even if it just be like, I think, you mentioned slip a gift card, slip,
Yeah.
help in ways.
A gift card, this is for you and Dan. Here's some coffee, here's a Starbucks card, just something that if you know somebody's gone through a rough time, maybe they're not going to tell their story to everybody.
Right.
But if you're going to go through, if you know somebody's going through a rough time or grieving or just gone through a divorce or whatever, they don't want to rehash the story over and over and over again. But I like when people are curious and they look in people's eyes and they go, I was thinking about you yesterday, or when I think about you, I pray for you, and I want you to know if you need anything, even if it's a prayer, just text me.
Yeah.
I don't need to know details, just text me.
Yep.
And people just don't really know how to do that and how to be there and how to be present for people. So I think that's good. It's just to feel seen, like, oh, you see me.
Yeah.
You see my pain. Or you see what you perceive as my pain.
Right.
Because I just went through a really tough thing. I was...
On the way back, we can have this one, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, I love this place. It was so beautiful. That was such a beautiful wedding.
Oh, thank you.
Wasn't that so
sweet.
fun?
It was great. I mean, it was really great.
So great.
I was it's so crazy how I moved out here and then met Jeff, and you guys moved out here, and we're here together. I mean, this is just really cool.
Yeah, in the
It's really
same
cool.
area, which
Yeah.
is just crazy.
And I live less than a mile from your church.
I know. I know. And we don't know Jeff as well as we know you.
Yes.
And so you guys had already established yourself at Northwest. I
Yes.
love that you go to that church. It's such a
Great
fantastic
church.
church. I don't know your boys as well.
Yes.
But it will be fun to get to know them a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Because my goal from here, and the reason that I accepted this was because people don't know these things.
Right.
And if people can just get some help and get some guidance as to how to advocate for themselves, how to make sure that their families are healthy, how to make sure that they're not just being dismissive about problems in their home and just saying, oh, it'll just go away.
Mm-hmm.
It won't just go away. Nothing just goes away. You just create a new normal of dysfunction. And you do not want to do that. As Christian families, you do not want to do that. You want to get better and better and better. You don't want to get mediocre, less mediocre. Now we're just surviving. And that's just what people do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, put the information in a way that it does feel a little bit quicker, but it is a way for people to quickly get help.
Yeah. You mentioned you wrote a book.
I did. I wrote a book called, I have about 3 chapters left. It's called Stop Looping. You're driving yourself crazy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's
And
so exciting.
I think it's a negative title, which I'm trying to figure out how to make it positive. I wanted to get it to be attention, like stop looping. Just stop looping, because that's what I'm trying to say to you is stop looping. You're going to drive yourself crazy. And we need to do whatever you can to stop ruminating, because it's not a healthy thing at all. It's very dangerous. And the deeper those grooves go, it's dangerous.
Well, once you get it published, let's do another one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how I'm going to publish it. I mean, I don't know exactly if I'm going to do a podcast or if I'm going to release it in chunks on YouTube or whatever. I'm thinking through quite a few avenues that would be more natural for me.
Yeah. Well, you're a great speaker, so I think the YouTube option is very viable for you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I want to do.
Yeah.
So how are you?
Well, this has been so exciting. I mean, you are really my inspiration, and I mean, ultimately, I guess I got to even back up just a tiny bit more than that, in that I do feel like God has called me to do this YouTube channel.
I believe so.
And I specifically was so like scared is not even really the right word, but like apprehensive and just like procrastinating, and I didn't want to ask you, and I really felt that like the Lord was saying ask you to be the first guest. And I was like, nope, I don't want to do it. How about I'll just talk and I'll just do my, you know, and he would not let up. I mean, it was just like, no, go talk to Diane. I mean, he doesn't talk like that. He's not nicer than me. But I was like, fine, I'll just. Okay. And I made a deal with. I said to God, okay, if she says no, then you need to let me go. And then he said yes, and I was like, oh, this is so exciting.
I said yes twice.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that really meant the world. No, I just hit my microphone. It really meant the world. One, I really feel like for me it was a miracle, because like I heard from God and God told me to do something, and then you said yes, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So I'm great, because I have had so much fun doing this with you, sharing your story, helping you share your story, and I just feel so alive. And
that's great.
You know,
and you've learned how to edit. You've learned about technology. You've learned about microphones and all the things.
Really, you know, at almost 50, I am looking forward to this next chapter, my second chapter, my best life.
Your best life,
you know?
it's true.
All right, well, thank you so much, Diane. I'm really, really so grateful that you came on, and thank you. We appreciate you sharing and being so vulnerable with us and helping us to know, if I can say, regular people go through this really hard process.
100%.
You had to do a lot of hard work, and Pastor Dan had to do a lot of hard work.
But you know what? We're living our best life.
Oh,
Andrea,
cheers to that.
I would do it again. Cheers. I'm telling you, I have 8 grandchildren. The 9th one's on their way.
Oh.
I love watching our children thrive. I love watching our children be okay with asking for help and going through difficult times. And it's a very transparent, robust, lovely life. So was it worth it? Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, it was so worth it. Would I do it again? Oh, Lord, please help me.
Yes.
I would, but I wouldn't want to. But I'm telling you, the other side is so amazing. I always tell people, do the work. It's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Diane. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the coffee.
I think we did it. I think we did it.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I feel like that would be a good. Okay. Hi, welcome back. Nope, that's not what I want to say. I want to say welcome to my channel. Okay. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Andrea, and this is Andrea's Lifestyle Hub, which is already not going to be what I want to put on there. Okay, I'm going to try it again, Diane.
Yeah, I did commercials. Trust me, I know how this works. Just edit. You can edit away. Do whatever you want. It's all good.
Oh, gosh, okay.
This was our life. We know.
And, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember those car commercials.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. Have you done these since you've come out here?
A couple.
Have you really?
I did 4 more.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay.